Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here, and welcome to, what is this, guys? The fifth episode? I think this is the fifth episode.
I think so, maybe,
Five.
possibly, yeah.
Alright, five. Thank you. You see, that's how prepared I am. Welcome to the fifth episode of the Soul Imagineer Tribal Council. Oh, hey, oh, yo, yo, hey, oh, hey, oh, yo, hey, Alright, just had to get it out of my system.
As long as it's out of your system, we're good.
Yes.
It's out of my system. I think I'm good. I think so.
It's good.
Alright, so with me tonight, we've got the trio back together. We've got Voxel.
What's up?
Yeah, with the birthday cake in the background.
Yes, back there. It'll come out, just wait and when I get into my rant for coming up.
Oh, dear God. Okay. And then, joining us again is LittleGiants. How you doing tonight?
I'm fresh off a trip to St. Louis, so I'm detoxing.
Detoxing.
Okay, so this isn't just a regular Sunday. It seems like Sunday is our usual time for the Solo Imagineer Tribal Council show now, but this isn't just a usual Sunday, gentlemen. It is Oscar Sunday! Yeah!
Sunday.
Oh, yes!
Monster trucks.
So, for a couple minutes of time filler, who do you think's going to win Best Picture?
No flipping clue.
Birdman. Give me Birdman.
Birdman can take it.
It's got the momentum.
I really want Birdman to win. I mean, I'm not...
And Emma Stone's gorgeous.
Yeah, Emma Stone. Yeah.
Very true. Oh, she's so good looking.
Who do you think is going to take director? Do you think Linkletter's going to take that category and then picture's going to go to Birdman?
I think that's a possible outcome.
I don't know. I think they're linked so much. Give me the Birdman director who I can't say his last name that starts with an I.
Alejandro Navarro, something like
that. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Everybody does.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, give me him. Birdman's going to sweep them both.
I really hope so. I mean, I think I'm a big supporter of Birdman, so that's what I'm jumping on the bandwagon for. I think Boyhood was an interesting experiment in film. I just thought it was like maybe an hour too long. It dragged for me. Really dragged.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think part of like the hype with Boyhood was just that it 12 years in the making. Like,
oh yeah, of course, and that's the gimmick about it. And to tell you the truth, there's like a lot of nostalgia for me when I watch that movie. You know, I'm just like, I remember Wii Sports. Oh, I remember going to the Harry Potter book signings. You know, but
like when you watch it like actually as a film, it's good, but Birdman's it's a more technical film. I mean, like, that's just my opinion.
Right. Okay, so we're not here to talk about the Oscars, though. We're here to talk about Episode 5 of The Soul Imagineer, what I like to call Swap Meet. Greet. Yes. All right, so last time we left off, let's see who got voted out. Matt got voted out.
Yes.
It was pretty much the first blind side of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You're really protecting England in the process. So we'll see how the ramifications of that work out moving forward. But Giants, right away, what were your reactions to Matt getting voted out, and then kind of the dynamics of your new team as you went into it?
Like I said last time, I was not expecting Matt to go. I definitely thought that was going to be the time to get rid of England and to get rid of the whale. But I mean, I will say up front and honestly, I did absolutely nothing on this project. I mean, I will be the first person to say that. As I told these guys before the show started.
Yeah, your schedule sounded pretty hellish the way you described it.
I spent the past 4 days in St. Louis at a conference, so I was completely out of commission. And whenever I left on Tuesday, nothing had been set in stone, and there was just nothing to do. And so I was really on my phone, and then kind of was just like, you know what, I don't have time. And I tried to tell the guys at this before we started, and I said, hey, I can't do anything from Wednesday to Saturday.
Right, yeah.
It was on the record, it was on a table. And so, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the dynamics were like. I'll be honest, I don't know. But having worked with some of the guys, having worked with England before on some different things, and worked with IDI a little bit, and obviously worked with chokers, I can't imagine that the dynamics were that off. From what little I did see of the PM, it wasn't that bad. And I mean, we worked fine. They worked fine. We won, so that's all that matters.
Indeed. Yeah, you guys once again kind of curb stomped us, like World Showcase style. Yeah, first reward challenge or first immunity challenge. Voxel, let me ask you this: since you were gone last week, what did you think of the turn of events of Matt getting voted off?
To be honest, it didn't surprise me. I mean, I could see them going after England, but out of my personal experience, England's the stronger player on here, and he's the better talker. So if he had to get his way out of things, it's England. He can do it. My experience with Matt has been very limited and kind of not the most positive. He's usually gotten extremely busy, or I've gotten extremely busy every time I've worked with him, so we've not had a lot of interaction. So I can't really say how he is on those type of platforms.
Right. Okay. Let's see. So I will go ahead and get into the dynamics of my tribe a little bit. So we had Infinite, myself, and then we had Zwei and T-Cool. And unfortunately, I'm pretty sure Zwei was in a very similar situation to you, Little Giants, because he was only on for Thursday night and for a couple hours. And I will admit, in the couple hours he was on, he did the logo to our project and he gave it some sort of theme. And without that, our project would have been even worse than it was. So I'll give him that. He might have been only literally active in the project for maybe a few hours, but his contributions were it was still a crap project. But I'll get into the circumstances of that. But
I'll give your team props though. I mean, you are in a team that is fairly, for the most part, young in terms of how long your competitors have been competing in the forums here.
Mm-hmm.
So the areas that you guys severely lacked on in this challenge and really hurt you were the areas that you don't learn, and you learn with experience. That's why I think the other team did so well in presentation and organization and everything. And I think that's something that you guys will probably learn individually as you continue on.
Mm-hmm. No. I was really personally upset that I wasn't going to be able to participate in this project, because this project really piqued my interest. I like marketing. I'm a business minor in college, so this is kind of up my sleeve. And to know, oh, well, I'm not going to be able to do anything. So that was.
I kind of felt the same way about Joker and Journey into Imagination, because he told me that he didn't have. That he was too busy to do anything with that, and I felt really bad. I was like, "Ah, man, that's like your wheelhouse."
Mm-hmm. No, it's just it's great though, because especially having England on the tribe now, having had England on the tribe, and how he's done one of everything. It seems like he's been in every industry, done every job. He must hold jobs for about 6 days in total because he's done so many of them, but He's just got experience with everything, so the guy just took the reins and knocked it out of the park.
Oh, I'm sure.
But that's to be expected.
Yeah, I mean, that was always a risk with me. Of course, I knew. It was like, if I would have kept Matt around and voted out England, then I feel like I would have been a little safer going into the swap, because I would have had T-Cool and Zwei outnumbered by myself, Infinite, and Matt. But I don't know. Like I said, in the back of my mind, I was like, I don't want to get rid of England for 2 reasons. A, because I know who the big threats are on Sklarona, and they are obviously the 3 Musketeers. And take out one of the Musketeers, 2 of the other Musketeers have to go. And B, it's like I didn't know if Matt wanted to get rid of England because he was going to be working with T-Cool and Zwei. I didn't know. He was really insistent on bringing T-Cool on, so that's where I came from. But I knew there was a risk. I definitely knew there was a risk in terms of the dynamics. So with that in mind, yeah, Voxel, I think you definitely mentioned that Infinite and T-Cool. I mean, I'll give them props because they did a lot of the brainstorming in this project, and they came up with a lot of ideas, and a lot of the ideas made it in. The only problem was, my God, our project really entirely missed the point of what a 50th campaign is supposed to be. Like, because it was literally all the brainstorming. It's like, we should do this, we should do this, we should do this. Like, Peter Pan refurbishment, fix the Yeti, you know, like new world showcase pavilion, you know, like Ratatouille ride, just throw it all in there.
And I think that might be a product of lack of strong leadership. I'm not saying that there's no one on your team, Zuai, because he was busy, but there was no one on your available team who has very strong leadership at organizing these projects from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's where England excels. He's like, okay, guys, we've talked too long. Let's come up with something. And
I
so is
probably
Monorail
would have
Red.
been that guy. It's just I was really busy last week.
And that happens, and I think that shows in the product is everyone was either A, busy, no leadership, or in just so many ideas that we just couldn't latch down on something.
The thing of it is that, you know, part of the leadership around here is knowing, hey, this guy's really good, so I should listen to him. Or I mean, it was like with when Red was around, people deferred to Red because she was just better than the rest of us at some things. People defer to England because he's better than the rest of us at some things.
Yes.
So people know that, and a lot of people know that. And on your tribe, you had Tiki, who's very young and is a very much an ideas guy, very good at that, but has some trouble sometimes harnessing his ideas and reining them in. That you guys had Infinite, which I don't know much about him. I've never worked with him. I've never talked to him a single time. And they had you, and you're new. I mean, and we, from what we've seen of you, you're pretty good. You know what you're doing, but you're still pretty new around here.
Right,
so
right.
There's not really this strong force that people are just going to fall in line behind, like with England. And I mean, Zwei kind of can do that, but he wasn't around.
Yes.
You know, so I mean, it's one of those things that, you know, you guys, your project, I thought you had some good ideas. I really did. But it was the project itself was disjointed. You know, it was,
yes.
Oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But there wasn't this sort of, it's basically a laundry list of all the things Disney World should do.
A laundry list is being kind to it. I call it more of a text vomit.
No, okay, yeah, text vomit, that works.
Well, I'm just saying, like think of all the things that we all say on a daily basis. Well, they should change this, they should change that, they should change this. They like literally just vomiting out all the ideas that we all know what they should do onto a paper and saying, "Yep, we're going to do them all now."
There we go. Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, they're all good ideas, but that's what the project sort of read like. Like there wasn't an overarching theme. It's just like, holy crap, we need to fix a lot of stuff. We're gonna fix it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I mean,
okay, well, I can get into some of my personal experiences with this. So yeah, like I said, I was really busy. I was popping my head in and out like every other day or so, just kind of giving like a long paragraph, like, we need to address this, we need to address this, we need to address this. And honestly, yeah, most of the time when I did that, it wouldn't even really get answered, and they just go back to like, oh, we need to do this and this and this and this and this. And so it's like I just have a podcasting schedule to maintain, and that includes watching shows, taking notes on shows, recording shows, all that good stuff, post-production, pre-production, you know, all that stuff that goes into it. So that's what I'm doing on the side of doing this competition. And then we have, you know, so it was just really disjointed. I think the portion of our project that we came together the most in was probably the Epcot Pavilion. So let's talk about that a little bit. What do you guys think of that?
Go for it, Vox.
I gotta pull it up for a second because there's so much going on this. I gotta find out where that was.
I know.
I am in the same boat. I'm doing the exact same thing.
So I'm not alone. I don't know, because you destroyed one of my favorite buildings, number one, and that kind of hurt my feelings. Even though I know the Wonders of Life Pavilion isn't being used except for the Food and Wine Festival, aka Drunky Town, USA, and the flower and garden thing. But I have so much childhood memories of that building that it was like, oh no, they're tearing it down. So part of me cried, and even though I got why you did it, it still just made me cry.
No, I understand.
But I felt like you could have, modified the existing structure of that to fit the weather environment. It was a tall enough building you could simulate clouds in the building. You could do a lot of things like that.
True.
For the record, I love the Food and Wine Festival. I love Drunky Town. So, hey. But, no, I like the weather idea. I have said for a long time that I like the concept of a weather pavilion and looking at it from the very meteorological lens, not looking at it as a phenomenon like the land is examined.
Right,
like the seas are examined.
Kind of like a more educational sort of like complement to the land in a way.
Yeah, and I thought that it fit really well. I've always felt like that sort of weather pavilion will fit really well on that side of Future World because you've got the techie pavilions of the Universe of Energy, missions, the space pavilion, mission space, and then Test Track. You've got these three really sort of techie pavilions, and then you throw this one on top of it, and it fits. It fits well. It flows seamlessly, and it doesn't interrupt, that side of Future World and the way that it works. I mean, the Omnimover was an Omnimover. It made sense. I mean,
Did you like Kevin Michael Richardson as the narrator?
Yeah, that was a.
I thought that was an inspired choice.
That was.
I was like, oh, he's Groot? Okay, I'll have him be the narrator. All right.
No, but I mean, I thought it worked. I did. I mean, it seems fine to me. I mean, it seems like an Omnimover through weather and through climates.
Right.
And I mean, so it is what it is, and it was a very solid Omnimover ride.
I would have liked to seen it a more technical Omnimover, to be real, and gone kind of a flashback to Horizon, because I think an Omnimover of that style would have fit perfectly with this attraction. Because you can limit the view, you can control where it goes. Almost kind of like an Omnimover on a Kuka arm, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, but for me, I think an Omnimover's an Omnimover, right? Like you can, it's kind of like the, not that this is a great example of Omnimover, but it's like the Buzz Lightyear ride. Like, it's an Omnimover. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah. Right.
Although it's very cartoonish in nature, it's fine and it's fun, and you go on it and you shoot at stuff.
And you're going to ride it multiple times, most likely.
And so this struck me very much as just a, it's kind of like the Buzz ride, or I don't know, what are the, I mean, I'm losing the other Omnimovers. Maybe not to the caliber of Haunted Mansion.
Oh,
but,
no, I
mean, not to all world caliber, but it worked for me.
I'm actually surprised you didn't try to clone the ride from Disney Sea.
I guess the only reason why we didn't do that is that I have a personal kind of like philosophy against clones when it comes to
Makes sense. I thought I would see something kind of that caliber.
I mean, you know what could have been cool is maybe if we used the storyline and kind of universe of Storm Riders and then made like a ride out of it instead of a simulator. What do you guys think of that?
That would have worked too.
That would have worked. I also was surprised that, I mean, I've always thought that Storm Riders fit very well. I mean, maybe, kind of plus it like they have done with Star Tours in recent years.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I was kind of surprised. That one seemed to me to be very like, okay, don't reinvent the wheel. Let's just throw that in there. Let's throw something else in there. And you can either do kind of, you make Storm Rider your D+ ticket, and then you make your other ride maybe an E ticket, or if you want to go less, you can do something like a C ticket, or a show. I remember Cranium Command. I love that show.
Yes.
I absolutely love
Cranium Command.
Yeah, Joker will attest to that.
For all you youngsters who've never seen it, you're not real Disney fans. I mean, Cranium Command, that's how you know if you're a real fan or not. If you can remember Horizons and you can remember Cranium Command, you're a real fan. If not, I don't want to. Nope, nothing. You got nope.
Okay,
You got nothing
does
on
watching the videos on YouTube count?
It's got to, because there's no way for future fans.
I know.
It has to by necessity, but man, Cranium Command was the best.
I still vividly remember Cranium Command.
Okay,
I mean, that's one of the most vivid memories of my childhood.
I remember the first time I saw the hypothalamus in Cranium Command. I was terrified. I was like a 5-year-old child, and this thing pops up from the floor. I was sitting front row, and I was so scared. I was terrified. I also completely missed the Hans and Franz thing. I mean, like, I watched it on YouTube like a year ago, and until then, I completely had no idea that was a spoof of an SNL skit. Like, I mean, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Whenever I finally realized that was so funny. But yes, anyway, back to real topics. That's the topic at hand.
Let me ask you one more thing about that attraction, though. Do you think that they could possibly reboot it with Inside Out?
There's a lot of talk within the kind of rumor community that is a possibility. As far as we're aware of, a lot of people, and we have pictures that we can't usually prove, but they're relatively newish, that show that Buzzy is still there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard the same thing, and I've seen those pictures. I think so. I personally, this is me being a purist, I don't really like the idea of IP in Future World.
Oh, I totally agree.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so I completely hate Frozen Land. Like, I think that's the dumb. Don't even get started on that. But I mean, I'm okay with the meet and greets.
Careful, Little Giants. You might make Rob Alvey shut this video down. Careful.
Yes. Well, don't want to make Rob mad. But no, I mean, but I think I would prefer not to see that happen. I would certainly rather see Cranium Command just stay the nice, pleasant, Hans and Franz infused attraction that we all remember it as.
I think you could see Cranium Command come in with a little bit of Inside Out, but I think it would have to be. It would have to be done in a way that it currently is, because in a way there's so many similarities. The emotions are already there in Cranium Command. All they would do is have to change the stylization of them.
Mm-hmm.
Keep relatively the same script.
Mm-hmm. But you know as well as I do that would not be what would happen.
No, it
would be completely based on whatever this Inside Out is going to be. I mean, I from what
I've heard great things about Inside Out, like that movie's getting a ton of hype.
Oh yeah,
so it might not just be another Pixar IP.
No, I mean having watched the trailers and read all about it on the internet, on the interwebs and whatnot. I mean, I think it sounds great. I think it's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome, but it's still just another movie. At the end of the day, it's.
I will take it. I will take it in Epcot if at the end of Inside Out, and I'm calling it now. At the end of Inside Out, there's in memory of Buzzy.
If they do that, I will pay for the pavilion myself. Not that I can, but I mean, I'll take out a $50 million loan, and I'll go down there with a hammer and a nail and start building.
You'll be the labor force.
Yeah, I will personally build the new ride. But
okay, so we've set the terms for that. I'm glad.
Give me a contract. I'll sign on the dotted line.
Okay, so let me just get into like a little bit of a hell nightmare story about getting this project in. So I was the one that was set to turn it in and do all the final presentations and stuff, and I was like, okay, no problemo. I'll have I figured maybe a half hour to copy and paste everything onto the thread, and then another hour to to add pictures, to add fonts, to change up the text sizes, to make it all organized, maybe add intros and outros in between all the sections, really clean it up. Problem was that, my internet browsers decided to go kaput on me, like both of them, at the same time, as I was in the middle of doing it. And so, basically, with Firefox, my Flash player was literally just crashing every 5 seconds, and I would try restarting my computer, same problem would happen, just like, I turned it on and just start crashing. I wasn't even able to load Chrome, so, I had to just book it to a public library. We're lucky that we got it turned in on time with 4 minutes to spare. That's all I'll say, even in that state. Like I said on the actual thread, I take full and complete responsibility for the attraction being as disjointed as it was. I'm sorry, the project. Because it was just a nightmare. It was just like, oh my god, technology is just failing me right now. I went from like having an hour and a half to do all this to having like 20 minutes to just rapidly copy and paste stuff. It was bad. It was, oh my god.
It happens. I mean, I'll let you know on a little secret. I don't know if any other team has successfully done what Team C did during that Universal competition. We exceeded the amount of words capable on a thread post. We had to break our submission into 2 threads because of how much we put in.
Wow.
So I understand last-minute nightmares when it comes to threads and having all that fun.
Oh yeah. It's like you think. I don't know. It's just a lesson in like if you think that an hour is going to be enough time, it's like don't wait until the last minute. Just don't. You're an idiot for doing that. Wait until the day before to have everything ready. For God's sakes.
Yeah.
All right, so there's my little story. So let's get into Infinite. Let's get into his departure. So I'm gonna share a little bit of kind of inside strategy info from the old Sclarona tribe regarding Matt's boot. It was supposed to be a 4-3 vote. Or I'm sorry, it was supposed to be a 4-1 vote, 4-1. It ended up being a 3-2. And the kinky vote was Infinite. And, I really wanted to take Infinite all the way to the end of this game. I really did. I thought he was a talented up-and-coming player. I thought that the people involved kind of deserved to see him sort of like grow and mature throughout the game, which I think he really did in his time on Sclarona. I think he really showed improvements from his first project to his last project. He was really booking it. And, he's one of those people where it's like he just has a lot of good ideas, maybe not the best candidate for them, maybe not the best presentation skills yet, but I worked with him closely, and so he wanted to be in Imagineer Season 12, a season that I won, and I really wanted to go to the end with him. So it just turned out that, when we swapped over with Y and Tiki, part of me was like, I don't know. I just didn't want to go into a tie. I just didn't want to go into a tie situation. And luckily, I have to say, I was kind of relieved that when we lost, Tiki was the person that brought up to me, like, hey, we should get Infinite out, stick with the strong people. I don't know, it's like, with Y, it's like, I don't want to hold Dwight's absence against him. At all. So I wasn't really considering voting him out because it was just a matter of, I knew that he was gone, and it was just like real life takes priority over the game, and you don't really want to punish people for that per se. So it's like it just wasn't an easy decision. But at the end of the day, this is Survivor. I've got 2 people saying to vote this way, and if I do, then I'll make the merge.
Yeah,
I had to take it. I had to take it. It's
Survivor.
I like doing it, but it's like, I don't know. After the kinky vote, I was kind of ready to throw Infinite under the bus to Tiki anyways. I knew that Tiki was going to be the person I was approaching. I just was kind of relieved, like I said, that Tiki ended up being the one approaching.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. No. No, I mean, I think that I personally feel very fortunate that we didn't lose this week, because had we lost, I should have been the one to go home, and I will openly say I should have been the one to go home, because I didn't do anything.
And that is the advantage of having the people you had on your team.
Exactly. I made the merge because I had a really good team, good tribe behind me. Like, I mean, that's why I made the merge. Like, I will own that. I had some really good people behind me who won a challenge that had we lost. I should have gone home, no question. And I mean, now I would have tried to everything I could to stay in the game, but I should have gone home. I should have been the one to leave. And so I'm very thankful that we won.
That's what makes the strategy of this game interesting, because you want to get rid of the strong players, but at the same time, you need the strong players so you can ensure your own safety.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now that we're at the merge, though, that all changes.
It is all changed now.
Now it becomes get rid of the strong. Get rid of the strongest player that's not you.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think we all, all of us would probably have to agree there's one or two people still in the game that are probably the consensus strongest players. And, it'll be interesting to see what happens from here on out.
Okay, so what did you guys think of Infinite being voted out? I'm assuming neither of you.
Just like LittleGiant, I don't have any experience working with him, so I can't really say either way. He was a great player, and it's sad to see him go, or he was a terrible player, he needs to be gone. I don't know.
It struck me very much as the smart move.
Yes. I mean, I would agree with that.
Just because, you look at it, at least from your point, Tiki, and from the other guys' points, that, obviously Tiki and Zwei have been around this forum for a while, and you came onto the forum and pretty quickly, kind of made a name for yourself and came into into the conversationalists and into kind of the crew, and so they knew who you were. They know you're a known commodity. Infinite not. So I mean, for me, it was the smart move by all three of you.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm sorry, but just the fact that here's the deal with the vote. Matt originally approached myself, IDI, and then Infinite about voting off England. Those were the four people that were in that original conversation. I then pull Infinite and IDI into another conversation. I'm like, hey, I don't think it's a good idea to vote out England because then everyone else becomes a bigger threat. Yep. I think that's kind of a schemer. And Infinite, he went along with that. He was like, yeah, sure. But then the vote ended up being 3-2. And I don't know. I mean, maybe IDI switched his vote. I don't know. As far as I know, IDI and Infinite seem like they're pretty close because they're on the opposite tribe together for this round. But I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like if you can't even know for sure if a person's going to tell you going to vote the way that you tell them to vote or the way that the group is voting, it's just worrisome. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the thing of it is, that's the interesting thing about Survivor or Big Brother or any of these type of games, is you have to walk a very fine line between being completely good for your word and lying at the opportune moments. And you have to really watch, who you're telling what and what you're saying at what time. There have been times at this game that, I have had to tell people things, and they a lot of times has been true, and some of the times it's not been true. I mean, there have been occasions where these things have happened, and that's just Survivor.
Of course, with me and Matt last week, I pretty much was blatantly lying to his face for a whole week.
No, I mean, but that's the game, right?
That is the game.
you got to know that going in, and you can't take this personally. And to anybody who's watching, don't take anything that happens in this game from anyone personally. We all like each other.
Especially because we're not even playing for money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's
like
not,
when money's involved, it's one thing. It's like, okay, people's livelihoods are literally at stake, but nothing here is at stake except for bragging rights. So unless your life literally revolves around WDW and like, oh man, I got to be number one, it's like you should not. Yeah, this should not be a game that really,
I mean, it's basically one of those just get as close to the end as you can and go from there. I mean, that's
right, exactly.
At the end of the day, who cares? I mean, and when it's all said and done, let's all go get a beer together and have a good old time.
I would love that.
We may have to wait a few years for some of our members.
I mean, for you youngsters, you guys can drink root beer.
There we go.
I mean, for those of us who have the sideways driver's license, we can partake.
Do I have a sideways driver's license?
I think I do.
I kind of want to know now, but my wallet's not near me.
There you go. But
snap.
Yeah, mine's sideways now. I had to update it. I remember now. Okay.
Yeah. I went in. Yeah. But anyway,
now that the important questions have been answered.
Yes.
Is your license sideways or upright? Questions that the world revolves around.
Really does.
It really does. Like, it's really an important question.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I think that's just one thing that we all need to remember. At the end of the day, none of this matters, and let's just all have fun with it. Let's enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's my 2 cents for the week. That's my soapbox for this episode.
Okay, so just a couple more things to get to. So just at the merge, how about we go to Voxel, kind of as an outsider. You want to kind of give us your little pitch of what you think's going on and how you think it's going to all go down?
It's a free-for-all right now on this side. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out in the sense of a merge, because it's everyone on their own. And I know what some of these people are capable of doing on their own. All I'm going to throw out there is Team Air's Lord of the Rings.
Oh, God.
That's all I'm going to say.
No.
Because anyone who has followed the forums knows that is one hell of a project that was done by one person.
That's probably the best project to ever be put up on the website.
It is one of them.
I honestly, of everything I can ever remember looking back, the presentation of that, not just the ideas within, but the way that the ideas were presented was just unreal. Like some of these people are completely capable of just running away with this thing by themselves and leaving the rest of us in the dust.
Yep.
And that's where this game is really. I think a lot of this game is going to come down to the social game from here on out. I mean, because none of us can control none of us can play defense anymore. We can't say that, okay, we're going to keep this person from doing really well. All we can do is try to play
right.
and see what happens. So I think a lot of what this is going to come down to, as far as who gets the final three, is one of two things. Either it's going to be the 3 people that play the best social game,
probably,
or it's going to be one person that wins everything and 2 people that just kind of ride it out.
Okay.
That's my prediction. That's my call.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that, I mean, I'm right there with you guys in terms of the one nameless person who, right now, but we'll see what happens in terms of that. It should get pretty interesting, though. I'm interested to see, what sort of alliances come up, if any sort of allegiances, what sort of dynamics we're going to get and who the social players are going to be, who's really going to rise in terms of being a strategist. I'm interested to see if people are going to start to be targeted as strategists as much as they're targeted as, as players, as competitors, Imagineers. So it's going to be a really interesting dynamic. I can't really I can't really make any sort of real judgment on it right now, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Should be good. Should be good.
Should be.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's all you can say. I mean, this is in my opinion the most fun, at least for me, the most fun competition we've had on the boards in a really long time, just because there is the dual nature of the competition.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, it really brought something else to it, for sure. And I think it's playing out really good. Like, if I were our Michael, I'd be sitting back satisfied.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, he has to be. I mean, he's done phenomenally. I mean, this is, it combines the, the team side and the individual side of SA with some politicking and some socialization, and it's been a great competition, and the work level has been really high. The production quality has been really, really good every week, with the exception of Frozen.
Avoid Frozen. Just avoid it.
Let's be honest. Like, that was definitely the worst week. But beyond that, like, this has been as good or better than any competition we've had in a really, really long time.
And speaking of interesting things, I just realized that we have completely skipped over Team Banax, whatever, I can never say any of these names, this presentation for the 50th.
We have, yeah.
Talk about that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have one thing, and I need a prop for this. This is why we never decorate any of the park icons. Someone thought this was a good idea. It wasn't. And that's all that ran through my head the entire time, especially the gold Epcot ball.
Oh, well, okay, yeah, I mean, like... I mean, I can't really defend that.
I think the Epcot ball and the way the Contemporary was treated were the two that offended me the most, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I wasn't around for 3 days. Whenever I was around, everybody was all like, "Yeah, let's do gold accents on everything." And
I was halfway expecting them to paint the road gold by the time I was done reading the entire presentation.
Yeah, I was just kind of. I mean, I can remember that. I mean, whenever I was still around, everyone's like, "Yeah, let's do gold accents," and I'm like, I remember I was thinking, I didn't say this to anybody, but I was thinking, this could go really well or really badly, but whatever, let's roll with it. On some of them, I think it worked really well.
I think it worked well for the castle, and I think it worked well for MGM.
I think that the all gold golf ball, like the solid gold Spaceship Earth, that just the one that I thought was just kind of like, okay, what are you doing? Was the Contemporary. I had no idea that was coming. I mean, and I can't, like, hey, I had nothing to do with it. I mean, congrats, guys.
Congrats whoever made that picture. So. Whoever made the picture, you made me almost throw my computer against the wall.
Yeah.
I mean, I was honestly, whenever I was reading it, because I hadn't read our submission, I didn't know what was going on, and so when I was reading it, I see this gold Contemporary, and I'm like, are they doing gold? Where are they going to put the gold in the Polynesian? Like, that was just what I was thinking. Like, that was is the ceremonial hall going to have a gold roof? Like, that was my first thought. Was, oh God.
Let's be honest, I'd be glad that I am not leading this competition, because I'm pretty sure I would have eliminated your entire team for the amount of usage of gold.
Hey,
Okay, here's the thing about it. I think it worked well enough in the Disneyland 50th anniversary because they used it sparingly. They used it when it was necessary.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I think the sheets made a nice touch. I think, like, in some of the deluxe resorts, having the gold accented sheets would have been nice because they've gone to those white sheets.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe have shades of gold within Spaceship Earth, but not completely gold.
Actually, I would have leave Spaceship Earth. It's such a beautiful system, and at night they have such great projection technology now. Do something with that.
Mm-hmm. That's what I mean. That's what I would have done is I would have figured out, do the projection onto it, like make it look kind of gold-ish.
Yeah.
At night, and then figure out some way to make it sparkle.
And that's easy, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know tech. I don't know this stuff. I'm a poly
You can trick them. You can trick the eye into believing it's sparkling with projectors.
Yeah, so there you go. I mean, you just project something up there and you make it look like it's sparkly.
Right.
You know, I like shiny things. So, but no, I think that's yeah.
It was a
gold
weakness.
ball was.
It took away from the overall project, in my opinion. Like I wanted to think about the other things, and I saw some of the exchanges, and they were great. But every time, I just kept going back to the gold, and I was like, "This is you're starting to weaken the project, not help it."
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I think their team definitely had much more of an overall focus than we did. Even if their focus was kind of funny, it's kind of like an opposite sort of situation. We had very little focus. They focused too much on one thing.
But I mean, at the very least, at least with my tribe, I can't say we, but with my tribe, you know. Yeah, I mean, there was this kind of overarching concept that it always went back to the gold of the 50th anniversary. So whether you like it or not, at least there was something there, and I think something is always better than nothing.
Yes, all the credit. You absolutely deserve to win.
Yeah.
No, that for me, that's all I've got to say about our project. I can't speak.
I just had to get into my gold rant.
Yeah. No.
I love it.
Yeah. That was great.
Okay, so we are on to our last segment. This is something I'm really excited about. So, now, me and Joker, in our cast assessment, we did a little fantasy draft. And Tiki's Tyrants kind of got knocked out one after the other in the first 3 rounds. And then, what happened? Another 3 people got knocked out from Joker's side. And that leaves us with 4 people on my side, 4 people on Joker's side, which LittleGiants adopted. So, LittleGiants, what do you think of my comeback from my team? What do you think of the Tyrants' comeback?
I think had you looked at the list of people competing at the start, I think that this was kind of the 8 that I would have said would make it this far for various reasons. You know, whether it's the social game, whether it's the ability, whatever it may be, whether it's the name. And I think these are the 8 people I would have picked to have made it to this point. These would have been my first 8 draft picks. But you know, I think that's yeah. I mean things. You know, you lost 3 in a row, but then Joker's lost 3 in a row, so it washed. That was just that's my take on it all.
I was so much more excited than I should have been when I realized that we were even at the merge. I Facebooked him and I was just like, ha! Ha!
Hey, I get
I'm sorry.
I love fantasy baseball, so I completely.
Okay, since you kind of inherited, let's go over the teams. I have myself, Joker, Tiki, and England, and then you inherited Joker's picks, which were Vipra, LittleGiants, Zwei, and IDI. So, what I thought I'd do is I thought I would offer us a little trade-off here. A little opportunity for us both to trade one person from the opposing side's team onto our team. And I will flip a coin. I have my Haunted Mansion Holiday coin with Jack Skeleton as heads. And then the mansion is tails. Very nice, very nice. And Giants, you want to call it in the air to see who goes first pick?
All right. Let's go.
All right, let's do it.
Heads.
Oh.
All right, take your pick.
Okay, let's see. Well, ironically enough, Giants, I want to draft you to my team.
Okay. That's fair.
So, who do you want to draft over to my team, over to your team?
I am split on this one. There's 2 gentlemen that I think, have a good chance at kind of being the dark horse picks for me. And oddly enough, Tiki, I am going to take you. or my pick. So we're swapping each other at this
all
point.
right. Well, hey, that worked out. That worked out.
You know, no, I mean, I think that I think that there's, I think that we've got some good picks.
All right. So just to recap, and Jokers, you'll have to update your signature if you're watching this. But just to recap, Tiki's Tyrants are now Little Giants, Jokers, T Cool, and England. And then Jokers winners are now myself, Viper, Zwei, and ID Institute. Yeah.
And I'm going to put the money on Tiki's Tyrants.
You're going to put the money on Tiki's Tyrants?
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, not for reasons people are expecting either.
All right, so I think that's it. Have any other Academy Awards been announced that are kind of big?
Let's see. Updating now.
I will check the New York Times.
Your best supporting actress.
Supporting actress went to, let me guess, Arquette?
Yep.
Nah, figured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's enough of the Oscar talk, or we can be here tonight. So, gentlemen, I think next week is going to probably be our most demanding show yet because we have 8 individual projects to talk about. So,
yep.
Yeah, I'm going to just kind of leave that up in the air for now. Just, it's going to need a little bit more prep work than usual. So, just putting that out there, should be a fun show. Of course, we'll have a lot to cover in terms of who got eliminated from the merge, are any twists taking place, who has the project vetoes, are there project vetoes in play? We don't know. God knows who. It's all up in the air. It's all crazy. I'm rambling at this point. So, you guys want to sign yourselves out?
Sure, why not? I hope you guys have a good night. This was fun. Peace.
Well, I am going to start working on LSAT stuff. LSAT. Got to go to law school sometime. So, peace and blessings, everybody.
God rest your soul.
And we hope that you enjoyed this episode of the Soul Imagineer Tribal Council. Oh, hey, yo, 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 hey, yo, yo, hey, yo, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, yo, hey, yo.